Hello, welcome back. I actually did not plan on doing this today. I'm really not dressed for garden work, but I don't know, I think when you have a garden, you get stuff in your hair and you always seem to find your way into it. I didn't even bring my camera. I'm recording this from my phone. So, impromptu garden video, but I am working on putting it to bed for the winter. I have a few things out here that are still growing, like my kale. I think my broccoli is done for, but I'm not gonna count it out yet. We've had some really cold nights, and I kind of had just gotten to the point where it was like, just is what it is. What survives, survives. What doesn't, doesn't, and it's gonna be okay. But I do have some stuff growing in the greenhouse. I have some more kale, arugula, spinach, some lettuce mixes, and some snap peas, which seem to be doing okay, as well as some radishes I just started. So that'll get us through winter, hopefully, and make spring all the more sweeter. So what does it look like for me to put the garden to bed? That includes cutting out all of the dead plants. I try not to pull them out. I try to leave their roots in the ground. It's good for the soil. They break down, all that good stuff. So I just go around and I take a pair of loppers or hand shears and just cut everything down at the base. Then what I'm doing for the first time this year, because we have cows, fairly new to our homestead, is that I'm taking fresh cow manure and I'm just throwing it on the beds that I'm not planting in. So that's gonna sit until I plant again in April, May. And that'll be nice and broke down and into the soil. It'll have been rained on, snowed on, all that. So it's just gonna kind of compost in place. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take hay, which you see on my beds. I use hay a lot as a ground cover. So I'm taking the hay that the cows like drop on the ground, they don't want to eat, maybe it's gotten moldy, the stuff that they're not really touching. I'll gather that up and I'll lay it on the beds. It's a lot of work, and if I don't have enough or it's taking too much time, I'll just go down the road and buy some cheap hay. Try not to do that. Try to save wherever I can. Because we've had some really frosty nights, it got it down to the teens at one point. I'm pulling out this lettuce, unfortunately. Luckily, though, the pigs will eat it. I'm cutting back all of my annual herbs. So this is, gosh, I can never remember the name of it. It's not fennel, and that's what I want to call it, but that's not what it is. It smells like black licorice. I'll flash it down on the screen here because I, for the life of me, can never remember it. So I've got that. These were chives. I just cut them way down and dropped what I cut. And then I've got my thyme here, which you can't really see right here. I just cut all that back, and all of this will come back next spring. Let's see, oregano is doing insanely well. Yeah, I probably won't mess with this too much. I'll just let it go. But yeah, so this was a bed I laid hay down the other day, and then I just laid all of that hay down just now from the cows. And yeah, it's like I should have had this done months ago, but better late than never. I still need to throw hay on this bed and finish weeding it and throwing some manure on it to let it compost, and then move on over to these two beds where the tomatoes and peppers and some flowers were. I find if I just take it one bed at a time, It feels a lot less overwhelming if I can get one kind of in my mind closed out is what I kind of think of it as. It doesn't feel so overwhelming. It seems to go quicker because I feel like I've got something accomplished rather than working all over the place. You don't really see the fruit of your labor. So if I can get, well, bed 1 is pretty much done. I'm almost done with bed 2, and then I'll move on to bed 3. So if I can get those 3 beds done here pretty soon, I'll be feeling good. But I guess I have the rest of fall and all of winter to work it out and get it done. And then as they're cleared out and the manure's on it, I'll just come every so often and just keep dumping hay on the beds and just keep tucking it in and mulching it in, and it'll be ready to go for springtime. So spring me is probably going to regret that I didn't pull these out sooner, but these were beans that had died and dried out on the vine, and when I went to go pull them off, I just heard all the beans like rattle in their shells, and there's random beans everywhere. So I'm probably going to have a million sprouts in this place. Hopefully I don't regret it. Hopefully it self-seeds and works to my favor and advantage, but that's going to be a lot of work if it doesn't. Swiss chard isn't looking too good, but there is some happy little growth down here I might be able to salvage if I cut it back. Carrots, their tops are a little wilty, but the root looks really good. So they're gonna be fine. They do fine in the winter. Just the tops just kind of get wilted and sad looking, but it's okay. Right here, you can't really tell, but I planted some asparagus, so I'm not really sure what to look for on this. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I need to do more research, but it's a sad little guy. But I'm excited to see how it goes. You don't know unless you try. One thing that I've learned having a garden, especially one this size, is that you can only do what you can do. And it's so forgiving. If you neglect something or you mess up, it's okay. You can try again. It'll come back sometimes. That just means you might have to weed a little more and put a little more mulch down. But it is forgiving and it will work itself out. I'm just gonna keep plugging away and keep thinking and keep dreaming of what this is gonna turn into next season. So may the Lord bless and keep you. Until next time.